We have another Reddit story, okay? And it says, am I the a-hole giving S to my wife about her partying and reckless behavior? Yeah. Okay, let's get into it. English is not my first language. Let's skip over that. So, a bit of context. We've been together for 5 years and been married for 2 years. And by the way, even though this person said that English is not their first language, they speak, they write much better than a lot of people I've seen. Okay, let's continue. When I met her, she was a kind of girl who partied a lot. Alcohol, drugs, pretty much everything was involved. She did not stop because of me, but I know that my general reluctance to do these types of things was a turning point for her. She even introduced me to cocaine, MDMA, etc. But since I was not particularly enjoying any of these, she kind of slowed down and eventually stopped 3 years ago. We have been talking about having a kid since January. I love her so much and I really want her to be the mother of my children. She's been taking vitamins, I've been exercising, etc. But 6 months and nothing yet. I know it can take some time, or I'm not being overly worried. But last weekend, one of her friends from her past spent the weekend in our flat. They both smoked a lot of weed, did some coke, and drank a lot. Prior to this weekend, she was ovulating, and we pretty much had sex 2 to 3 times a day during that period. Oof, you can't get on the first try? But let's continue. I have been distant since I feel like she doesn't take seriously our commitment to have a kid. I am actually hoping she's not pregnant. On a slim chance, I would have impregnated her the last week. I felt like the weekend of partying would have destroyed that. I told her that, and her reaction was to tell me to relax. And since she was not pregnant, there were no signs of her being pregnant. It's not a big deal. I'm reconsidering a lot of things, and I'm worried that maybe she does not want to have kids. All right. So the person, they had an update, and it said, I did not expect this post to blow up. We had a long talk and we both managed to say what we wanted. She apologized and realized what she did was stupid. I apologize as well for flipping out and not communicating my feelings properly. We are going to reevaluate our desire to have a kid for the foreseeable future. I.e., she's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that, but I don't know if I really want to do it. Okay. I'm still angry, disappointed, but overall mostly sad. I love this woman with all my heart, and it pains me to see her do stuff like this. Since we are not going to invite her friends anytime soon, and I know that there are no reason for her to do drugs anymore, I feel confident that she will stay clean. Maybe I'm fooling myself. Maybe her friends is just the worst influence ever. Or maybe it was just opportunity and she jumped on it. I guess time will tell. Thanks for the support. Da, da, da. Okay, so now we're going to get into a comment, and this is the only comment I'm going to share. And this person said, you are the a-hole for wanting a child with this woman. Okay, so you knew her, and when you knew her, you knew that she loved drugs. You said cocaine, MDMA, weed. Weed is like, no. Really, once you're of age, it's like, okay, unless you're just smoking, a giant thing, you know what I mean? This thick, but you're doing hardcore drugs. Okay. MDMA. I remember I had, oh my God, story time. I had this dude. I was in my dorm. Okay. And I had a corner. So I had 2 roommates, and it was this white girl who, her name was Mary Jane, and she loved to smoke. I was like, okay. But she had this one dude, this white dude, her friend, right? I'm on my laptop in the room, headphones on, watching whatever it is that I'm watching. I had Xfinity at that time, so I was probably watching some show. So she had her friend in, but I always had my stuff at a low enough level so I could hear what's around me. Okay. And he was talking about how he took a LSD. Because they were talking about where they're going to get the weed from the next time. And I was like, okay, this ain't got anything to do with me, whatever. But then he was talking about LSDs. And I was like, lowered my volume. And I'm like, okay, let me hear what's going on, right? I got started leaning in, right? So he's talking about how he did LSDs. And he was like, yeah, I did it last night. And she's like, oh, man, you did? How was it? He was like, man, it felt so good, but he was like, I didn't really, I didn't trip like how people was talking about how they tripping. And I'm like, dude, you doing LSDs and you saying that you don't feel really anything, nothing. None of this extra. You just, yeah, it's like a high. Boy, bye. I was like, oh God, I hope this kid mother, I hope he doesn't steal any of my stuff. He's a junkie. You know what I mean? But anyways, getting back into the story. Okay. So I'm looking at all this and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, so this chick is on drugs. She's partying hard. She was a party girl, still is a party girl, obviously, because if you weren't and you really respected what you got, you wouldn't be out here. Oh, well, yeah, my friend's in town and like a whole line and you wouldn't be doing all that, yo. And whoa, you wouldn't be doing all that mess. Like, let's just keep it real. We're gonna be real. Let's be real. We're gonna talk. Let's talk. Okay, you wouldn't be doing all that mess because you maybe will have a sip and like a hit off of J, and then you're done. Okay, or have like a glass of wine, but you going hard. Okay, so obviously much has not changed, and she's saying how she's he's like, well, we talked about it and whatnot. One, I don't think this is gonna last. Okay, that's just she seems like she's too much of a problem. You're over trying to have a baby with this broad, and oh yeah, we just tried da da da, but she just did coke. It's not even 24 hours earlier, not even 24 hours ago. She just did coke and what? No, I'm sure she must be bad. Ooh, she must be fine, but it ain't worth it. You know what I mean? It ain't worth it because you never know. Because he says like, oh, it seems like she kicked her habit, whatever. Did she though? Do you actually know for a fact that she kicked her habit? Maybe not. And who's to say that you get this woman pregnant and she doesn't just start left and right and doing all that, and now the kid got some crazy, disease or birth defect because she's been doing drugs this whole time. You know what I mean? So for me, you should have left that alone. Personally, when someone is that destructive, you know what I mean? I don't know about that. Bruh, you need to leave her alone. Hey, I greatly appreciate if you could support me. Simply go to ebay.com. In the search bar, type in Latrice Limited, click on shops, and then support me. I have a wide variety of items on there, many of my own personal Latrice Limited items, such as candles, bath bombs, soaps, essential oil blends, lingerie robes, so much stuff. I even have men's ties and comic books on there. Definitely support me, and do not forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.